When people hear the words stopping power, their minds instantly jump to black tactical rifles with 30-round magazines. But hold up. What if I told you there are actual handguns out there so ridiculously over-the-top powerful that they turn those rifles into cute little playthings? We're not talking about your grandpa's Saturday night special here. These are absolute monsters of engineering. Masterpieces built across decades of pure ballistic obsession, designed to swallow cartridges that can drop a charging African elephant dead in its tracks. Tonight, we're jumping headfirst into the insane universe of revolvers so strong they straight up embarrass rifles in a bunch of real-world situations. These are the kings of close-range domination you never saw coming. Kicking things off strong, we have the Colt Anaconda, a revolver that doesn't just pay respect to Colt's legendary snake gun heritage. It grabs that legacy by the throat and drags it screaming into the modern era. This beauty retails for $1,699 and is way more than just another wheel gun. It's a rolling piece of American firearm history that sits right at the top of Colt craftsmanship mountain. Built on the rock-solid Colt I-frame and machine from premium stainless steel, the Anaconda looks drop-dead gorgeous and laughs at rust, scratches, or anything Mother Nature wants to throw at it. Hunt with it, blast away at the range, or lock it in the safe as a collector's piece. This thing is an absolute workhorse that refuses to quit. Chambered in a legendary .44 Magnum, every trigger pull unleashes pure fury. A 240-grain slug screaming out at 1,180 feet per second and slamming the target with 742 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. That's enough to drop a pissed-off grizzly in its tracks or punch straight through car doors and windshields like they're made of tissue paper. The 6-inch barrel is the sweet spot, giving you plenty of velocity while still keeping the gun fast and controllable in tight spaces. That beefy underbarrel ejector rod housing isn't just for looks either. It adds serious structural reinforcement, so the cylinder time's perfectly shot after shot, even after thousands of full house loads. When you put together that raw stopping power, precision engineering, and bulletproof durability, the Colt Anaconda earns its spot as an absolute icon in the handgun world. Moving on to pure luxury territory, say hello to the Nighthawk Custom Korth NXS, the undisputed champion of revolver perfection that blends insane engineering with performance that leaves most guns in the dust. Born from a partnership between Germany's legendary Korth and America's Nighthawk Custom, this masterpiece will set you back around $5,299, and every single dollar shows. Rocking a .357 Magnum chambering and a tough-as-nails DLC-coated frame, plus a top-tier stainless steel barrel, the NXS shrugs off where like it's nothing. Get it dialed in, and this revolver will stack bullets into consistent 2-inch groups at 50 yards all day long. What really blows minds is the 8-round cylinder. That's a full 33% more firepower than your standard 6-shooter, and the 4-inch barrel keeps everything fast yet still plenty accurate. At roughly 44 ounces, it soaks up recoil like a champ, even when you're running hot 158 grain .357 Magnum loads, pushing 1,300 feet per second. You get Korth's famous roller bearing trigger that breaks at a glass-crisp 3 pounds in single action, with a buttery smooth double action pull that makes follow-up shots stupidly easy. Fully adjustable rear sight, interchangeable front sight blades for different loads, and ergonomics so good you can carry it comfortably in a hip or shoulder rig all day. This isn't just accurate and powerful, it's an absolute statement piece that performs on the same level as custom rifles twice the price. 8 rounds on tap, lightning fast recovery, and build quality that borders on obsessive. The Nighthawk Korth NXS is for shooters who refuse to accept anything less than perfection wrapped in pure dominance. Now we're rolling into pure madness territory with the Taurus Raging Hunter 460, where Brazilian manufacturing muscle teams up with American cartridge insanity to create something absolutely wild. And the best part, you can own this monster for just $1,269. This isn't some ordinary wheel gun. It's basically a complete big-game hunting platform that just happens to look like a handgun. Chambered for the earth-shaking .460 Smith Wesson Magnum. It hurls a 200-grain bullet at a ridiculous 2,330 feet per second and smashes whatever it hits with a mind-blowing 2,400 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Yes, that's actually more than most .30-30 Winchester rifles produce. All from a revolver, sporting a 10.5-inch barrel and tipping the scales at a very reasonable 4 pounds 7 ounces. The frame is massive. The cylinder is almost 2 inches across because it has to contain pressures that would turn lesser guns into scrap metal. That giant dual-stage muzzle brake up front isn't just showing off. It knocks felt recoil down by roughly 30%, while announcing your presence with a shockwave and roar you can literally feel a quarter-mile away. What makes this beast even crazier is that it's fully convertible. It'll happily eat .460 S&W Magnum, .454 Casull, and good old .45 Colt, so you've got 3 completely different power levels in one gun. Pair the fiber optic front sight with the fully adjustable rear, and this thing will ring steel or drop game out to 150 yards all day long, making it an absolute terror for hunters and anyone who wants rifle-level performance without the long gun. Sliding into pure legend status, let's talk about the revolver that needs zero introduction, the one and only Colt Python. This is the gun that basically wrote the book on what a premium revolver should be, and its comeback has been one of the most celebrated returns in firearm history. At $1,699, you're getting craftsmanship and attention to detail that instantly makes it the king of .357 Magnum wheel guns. Sure, it might not throw the heaviest slugs on this list, but the Python's world-famous accuracy and perfect balance put it in a league of its own. Every single one gets hand-fitted barrel-to-cylinder alignment, so every single shot is scary repeatable. Out of that classic 6-inch barrel, light 125-grain hollow point scream along at 1,450 feet per second and still deliver 583 foot-pounds of energy, numbers that feel totally controllable and lightning fast for defensive work. The ventilated rib kills barrel flip and stretches the sight radius for pinpoint precision, while the target-style hammer and trigger give you a buttery 4.5-pound single-action brake. That's pure joy whether you're a rookie or a seasoned pro. That deep royal blue finish isn't just drop-dead sexy. It's tough as nails and shrugs off corrosion better than a lot of tactical rifles ever could. For more than 50 years, serious operators have trusted the Python when they needed absolute precision without lugging a long gun around. One look at that sleek silhouette and iconic vent rib, and people instantly know they're staring down someone who chose surgical accuracy over brute force. Yet the psychological weight of a Python pointed your direction makes every rifle suddenly feel slow and clumsy. Then we have the revolver literally built for the end of the world, the Ruger Super Red Hawk Alaskan, the exact gun Alaska's fishing game officers strap on when they need to stop a 1,000-pound coastal brown bear that's already way too close. Priced at $1,499 and chambered in the bone-crushing .454 Casull, this stubby monster was engineered from the ground up for the nastiest conditions on the planet. With just a 2.5-inch barrel, it somehow still cranks out true rifle-level ballistics, driving a 250-grain bullet at 1,625 feet per second for a whopping 1,466 foot-pounds of energy, enough to punch clean through an engine block front to back and keep going. That kind of power turns the biggest, meanest predators into history in an instant. Even with the short barrel, the Alaskan stays shockingly accurate thanks to fully adjustable sights, and the satin, stainless finish laughs at rain, snow, blood, or anything the wilderness throws at it. Touch one off, and you get a blinding fireball plus a pressure wave that'll rattle teeth 20 feet away. The Hogue Tamer grip soaks up punishment with space-age rubber, so you can actually stay on target with full power loads. Where this thing destroys rifles is pure speed. No shouldering, no cheek weld, just rips 6 rounds of apocalyptic fury as fast as your finger can move. The triple locking cylinder keeps everything perfectly timed even when adrenaline is redlined, and the transfer bar safety means it won't go off unless you mean it. Look down that snub barrel, and something primal kicks in because you know whatever is on the receiving end isn't walking away. This is the ultimate bear insurance that makes every rifle feel slow and overcomplicated when seconds count. Now let's step into pure American perfection territory with the Freedom Arms Model 83. The revolver that sits at the absolute peak of what a handgun can be when money is no object and precision is everything. At $2,994, this isn't just another wheel gun. It's a hand-built surgical instrument that happens to spit fire and delivers accuracy that embarrasses most bolt-action rifles. Chambered in the ferocious .454 Casull with a 4.75-inch barrel, it launches a 300-grain slug at 1,625 feet per second and hammers the target with a crushing 1,755 foot-pounds of energy. That combination routinely prints sub-2-inch groups at 50 yards, sometimes even tighter when the shooter does their part. Every single part is hand-fitted, the lockwork is flawless, and the barrel-to-cylinder gap is so perfect it's basically witchcraft. Long-range handgun hunters and metallic silhouette champions worship this gun for a reason. Where lesser firearms choke in freezing rain or desert dust, the Model 83 just keeps clicking along like nothing happened, because its design is as close to unbreakable as it gets. Add the Featherlight 2.5-pound single-action trigger with zero creep or over-travel, slap on the optional scope mount, and you suddenly have a legitimate 200-plus yard hunting rig that outshoots a ton of production rifles while weighing half as much. If perfection had a price tag, it would be $2,994, and it would say Freedom Arms right on the barrel. Next in line is the absolute unit known as the Magnum Research BFR, literally standing for Biggest Finest Revolver. And trust me, those words have never been more accurate. Starting at just $1,200, this monster takes the crazy idea of stuffing a full-on rifle cartridge into a handgun and actually makes it work better than anyone thought possible. We're talking .45-70 government here, the same round that dropped Buffalo on the plains 150 years ago, now flying out of a revolver. With standard loads, it sends a 405-grain bullet screaming at 1,330 feet per second for a brutal 1,590 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. But crank it up with modern hot loads, and you're pushing 500-grain hardcast slugs at 1,200 feet per second and still flirting with 1,600 foot-pounds. Everything is overbuilt from 100% stainless steel, because anything less would fold like cheap lawn furniture. That precision-cut barrel on the 7.5-inch version keeps groups surprisingly tight, even when the recoil is trying to launch the gun into next week. The single-action trigger breaks like glass at 4 pounds, letting skilled shooters stay on target shot after shot. One look at the giant cylinder and long barrel, and any gun guy instantly knows this thing is shooting real rifle ammo. The concussion is earth-shaking, the fireball is apocalyptic, and the intimidation factor is through the roof. In the right hands, the BFR gives you rifle-killing power with handgun speed and maneuverability, turning every "why would anyone need that" argument into a smoking crater. And finally, sitting unchallenged at the very throne of handgun insanity, we have the undisputed king, the Smith Wesson Model 500. This isn't just the most powerful production revolver ever created, it's the final boss of portable destruction, yours for $1,569. Built around the earth-shattering .500 S&W Magnum cartridge, it takes a 350-grain bullet, accelerates it to an unbelievable 1,975 feet per second, and unleashes a mind-melting 3,300 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Yes, that's more raw power than a .30-06 rifle, all coming out of something you can strap to your chest and hike with. Smith & Wesson literally invented an entirely new X-frame and new alloys because nothing else on the planet could contain those pressures. The compensated barrel claws recoil back from broken wrist territory into maybe survivable, while the muzzle blast is so violent you feel it in your soul 50 feet away. Even with that violence, this beast still shoots respectable 3-inch groups at 50 yards with the right loads. Bright fiber optic front sight, fully adjustable rear, and cushioned synthetic grips mean you can actually aim and hold on through the apocalypse. Fire it once, and the world stops. The flash lights up the night. The shockwave rattles windows, and anyone on the receiving end instantly rethinks their life choices. Rifle shooters obsess over wind drift and bullet drop, while the Model 500 owner just points at something within a football field and deletes it from existence. This revolver isn't just a firearm, it's psychological warfare on a trigger. The mere sight of that giant bore and X-frame tells the story. Whatever happens next is going to hurt a lot, and there's nothing any rifle can do to match that level of pure, unapologetic dominance. These 8 revolvers represent the pinnacle of handgun engineering, each one capable of delivering more than just raw power. They create an immediate psychological edge that no rifle can match. From German precision to American brute force, these revolvers redefine what we know about stopping power and firepower. Whether it's for hunting, self-defense, or just the thrill of owning a piece of ballistic history, these revolvers are the ultimate expression of raw firepower. Which of these amazing revolvers would you choose to add to your collection? Let me know in the comments below, and stay tuned for our upcoming review of the most powerful hunting cartridges that have been deemed too dangerous for civilian use.